Very well, adventurers. You were standing in a room at the end of the bridge over the chasm with the two statues. Out of the wall has emerged a giant stone face, and he had said, "You're doing great. Keep it up." And that's where we'd ended last session.
I have a feeling
You have a feeling what?
that this next bit isn't going to go well.
I've got every faith in you. Every faith. So what would you chaps like to do or say? Or
I'll turn and go, "It's all right, lads, I got this."
I'd say, let us go, please.
his voice sounds like two rocks grinding together. He says, "Oh, now I can't let you go. I mean, I wish I could. It's not in my power. I so rarely get to speak. Most people don't survive this far. You're doing so great. I don't get a chance to chat. It's been hundreds of years since anybody new's made it to my room.
Must be very lonely, mate.
Terribly lonely.
So what you do to pass the time?
Well, me and my brothers, we're supposed to keep an eye on the place while the beast's having his problems."
Oh, what kind of problems, like? Not marital problems, because they're never good.
No.
Is it a girl? It's nearly always a girl, isn't it?
It's not. Ever since that great sun hero came and stole his eyes, the beast can't see where he's going, and he relies on others to direct him.
Has he ever tried, like, a white stick thing? Because I've seen guys with them things, and they seem to be very good. They've got eyes on the stick, I think, that can see.
That does sound
Do you know what? If you tell us where he is, I'll go and tell
useful.
him.
The beast. Oh,
Yeah.
You're in the beast.
Oh, that's what she said.
He stops for a moment and like his great stone brows furrow, and then he goes,
I love it.
had a joke in so long.
I'll ask him, has anybody won free from the beast?
Free from the beast? Oh, you can't get free from the beast. That's impossible. Well, no, that wouldn't work. It's impossible. You can't get free. We haven't had anybody in here that's left in thousands of years.
But somebody has.
Well, technically, it's a technicality, but it's not like really setting them free.
Well, being dead by any chance?
No, it doesn't involve them being dead.
Oh, that's good, because I'm allergic.
He says, What's the weather like outside? I haven't been outside in so long."
Crap. It's always the same. You know what it is? It's, you get the winds coming down from Prax, and then you get the cold wind coming from Pavis. It's just never ending.
Global
Yeah.
warming, isn't it?
Yeah, tell us about it. Duranthin weather. It's always raining. Or foggy.
Could be worse. We could be lunars.
So how did you end in this predicament then?
Oh, me and my brothers, the beast, he swallowed us, and when you're inside the beast, he can destroy your soul. So you either work for the beast, or if you die, you're gone forever. Like everything else, we were swallowed by him.
Seems very depressing.
It's terrible. And I'm the happy one. I mean,
Wow.
I'm the happy doorkeeper. I mean, I gotta be honest, you need to keep away from my brothers. The next custodian down's the Mad Butcher, and he's never happy. Well, he's always happy, but it's never happy for anyone else.
So how did this person get free again? You were talking about them.
It's impossible. You couldn't do it. You'd have to. You couldn't get free. The beast would have to regurgitate you, and to do that, you'd have to get down into the gullet where all of the materials are digested, and somehow get him to spit you back out. And to get to the gullet, you'd have to go through my door, down the stairs, and then you have to survive the gauntlet because the beast's moved the gauntlet up to the second level. He moves things about, and you're never quite sure. He's moved the gauntlet to the second level, and that's just a plain death trap. That's deliberately designed to kill people. It's not a happy level like my level, where you get to know people and you get to talk to them, and once every century or so, somebody comes in and you get to chat to them for a few minutes before their soul is utterly destroyed. So that's nice.
Yeah, I suppose that's one way of describing it. Another would be utterly terrifying.
Yeah, so you'd have to get through my door, and you don't have the password. I'd love to give you the password, but I can't because, like, if the beast notices, like I said, he can destroy you with a thought, so that would be pretty bad for me. And then somehow get through the gauntlet, and then you've got to get into the gizzard, and that's where everything's digested. And that's if the gizzard's still on level 3 because he moves things about. Because there's more levels, you see.
That makes sense. So, you say there's a password that you can't give us, because obviously, and I get where you're coming from, because, it's your job, you don't want to be, getting sacked or anything.
Yeah, there's a password. I'm supposed to hinder intruders, but I haven't seen anybody in so long, and my brothers, they're crazy, so I can't speak to those spirits. Can you all give me a quick spot hidden while you're chatting to this nice gentleman? The trolls in the Talkin that were fishing the bridge for supplies, they know the password, but apparently you've killed all of them, so that's pretty bad. One of the Talkin did tell me that he couldn't get into the gargoyle room earlier. Somebody had jammed the door, so I that must have been you. Those that made it, as you're talking, you can see on the other side, it's not a head, it's a face. So as his mouth's opening and closing, behind the mouth, there's a passageway, and you can see like stairs just leading down behind him into the gloom.
I have a plan. I'll turn round with me back to him and smile at everyone and do that. I have a great plan, guys. Trust me, face.
And he says, Croden, isn't it? I was listening earlier on when you were in the ladies' room, but we can't get in that room, so I can't watch you. There's something stopping us getting in that room. Why is everybody pulling that face? It looks like everybody's got indigestion.
Not much, to be honest. It's just...
Bad meat earlier. Didn't play well with my stomach.
Well...
Yeah, because I know you were in the ladies' room, but we can't get in. I can't send the cleaners in. It must be dirty. It's been there for centuries, and occasionally the beast, you see, he eats things that he can't digest for whatever reason.
Ah.
Like that town. It was on 8, I think, the last time I seen it. There's a town in there, and he ate that by mistake, and he can't get rid of that thing.
Do you like dags?
I don't know. Maybe.
You don't know if you like dags?
I'm not sure what a dag is.
I'll go feckin' dag and go, it's me dag, feckin' dag. I'll whisper in feckin' dag's ear, do all lots of cute things.
Right, so the dog sort of capers around and sticks the tongue out of his side, and he goes, "Oh, he's very cute."
Yeah, he is. Right, I'll stand there and open my mouth wide, as if I'm using my open mouth to make him do tricks.
Okay. Right, so he stands up on back legs and what have you. Is anybody else asking the Guardian anything? So
Does he have a name?
He repeats a name that sounds like rocks crashing together. It's in Earth speech. I believe only Paddy spoke it, so it's almost incomprehensible to the normal tongue.
Okay.
It's so long since I've actually got to use my name. Even the witch doesn't ask me my name. She just tells me to get out of the way.
Oh, witch.
The witch? Which witch is that witch?
The witch. Oh, she rules Marble Hall. That was down on 12 last week when the last time I saw it.
So do you move around?
We move around inside the beast because since the sun's hero took his eyes, he can't see. So we have to look over the inside and make sure everything's working. He can hear us though, and at this the eyes sort of flick left and right. So we have to be careful because if he hears us, then he'll come over, and that would be very bad for everyone. He hasn't noticed you yet. He thinks you're just something he ate. But if you end up like the lady where he can't digest you, he'll get real mad at you. And then he'll move things in your way. I mean, the gauntlet's bad enough, but if he drops you in the ocean down on 14, then that will be pretty bad for you.
Wet. Aye. So the witch comes through here a lot?
No, never. She's got to get past the deep keep, and they don't get on in the deep keep. And don't get me started about that freaky guy in the ostuary, the flesh tailor. His face shudders. I don't have any flesh, and he gives me the willies. I'm not frightened to tell you.
He sounds utterly terrifying.
Yeah, apparently he was just an apprentice, and he got a promotion when he got swallowed in here because that Delecty fellow couldn't find him anymore, so he's the big boss now.
Delecty fella?
Apparently, yes. He used to name drop a lot when he first came in, how he was, I'm the flesh tailor. I'm the apprentice of Delecty. Fear me. You have to fear my wrath. You know, the usual type.
Oh, Delecty. Great. Well, lot of dead people down there then.
Oh, there's lots of live people as well. The beast, he keeps people alive for his amusement and to perform jobs, so...
Oh, what kind of work? Does he pay well?
He doesn't pay at all. He just... All we're working for is our immortal soul, unfortunately, because basically he'll devour us and destroy us utterly. It's why you'll find that most people in here are naturally aggressive. I mean, those trolls that you killed on the bridge, those talkin really didn't want to fight, but if you don't fight, then the beast takes you, and nobody wants that.
No, that sounds like a bad end, like... I must be terribly sorry. I feel terribly sorry for you, mate. Sitting here all on your own. You must be so bored.
I mean, if you're staying up on this level, which, I mean, you're going to have to because you don't have the password, I might occasionally have to attack you with stone imps, but it's nothing personal. I like yous, but it's my job. And if I don't keep doing what the beast wants me to do...
Oh, no hard feelings. It's the same as us. We'll have to keep killing beasties and we'll have to, try and get past you and stuff like that.
Yeah, I'll be rooting for you. But, I mean, if you get down onto the gauntlet, I won't be able to follow because the Mad Butcher, he won't let me down there without permission. And he's kind of scary as well, so...
Is there anything written on his face or something like that?
There's just earth runes. He's obviously some kind of earth spirit.
When he's speaking, does he seem to have teeth?
Stone teeth. Why are you going to put your hand in?
That'll probably end quite stumpily bad.
He says, I mean, I'm happy to chat with you as long as I can. As long as the beast isn't listening, we get away with it a bit longer now that he can't see. He has to rely on the cult that stays him down on the bottom level, because if the cult doesn't steer him, he just kind of swims around in a circle. But don't tell him I said that, because he'll get really angry, and that would end badly for all.
This is the sound of me racking my brains and also still doing dog tricks.
Yeah, I'm trying to connect the dots, and the dots are...
Well, he does seem to be happy to answer questions when you ask them. He does seem to be quite a lonely stone fella.
I take it that people have gotten past you then?
Yes, if you've got the password, or there was that time the people that jam him up. I mean, you've got to have the password to get past.
How did they get the password? Did you tell them?
They didn't have the password. They cheated. I mean, some people they'll take the orcs prisoners and force them to tell the passwords. But I appreciate the vigor and the vim with which you slayed all opponents on this level, and thus robbing yourself of the chance to get the password from me. It was very helpful. It's going to be a bugger to get some more cleaners up though, as you've killed both the talkin that clean the water pipes out, and you've killed the ghouls that clear out all the organic matter. So I'm going to have to try and get some more sent up from down below, because otherwise it's just going to get messy in here. And who wants to live in a messy dungeon? Not me. Not that's for sure. I don't want to live in a messy dungeon. If only I could figure out how we could get the lady to stop giving the magic out in her room, then I could get in there and clean that up as well. But then I suppose people would be eating when they sleep and they think they're safe, but they just get eaten by the cleaners in the middle of the night.
I've got an idea. I mean, you could send us down to get, some reinforcements, replacements. We'd be glad to do it, wouldn't we, lads?
Yeah, we go down Giant Lake.
Oh, yeah.
Very helpful us. People always say that about us. Helpful chap.
Aye, I did notice when that McLovin were running across the bridge, got himself knocked out, that you ran across there to help him. It was incredibly entertaining, if I'm honest.
Yeah, it wasn't my finest moment, though, because it kind of all went a bit Pete Tong.
He says, plus, I've never spoken to anybody for centuries, so it's so nice to have somebody to talk to.
What's stopping us from coming back? Let's say if we did get past the door, hypothetically,
we
can always come
you'd
back.
never make it through the gauntlet. It's the Mad Butcher. He deliberately, all the traps and the monsters and all that comes down the gullet, the Mad Butcher's got the first dibs on them. He's bloody mad. You don't get a name like the Bad Butcher by not being a bit mad. And he just populates his level just to kill people. I mean, we don't get that many people in anyway, so I don't know why he does it, but it's not as queer as Fork, I guess.
But there has been people who got past them, hasn't there? They got down to the other levels.
Yeah, but they cheated.
There was a few, yes. The ones that are in
his mouth.
The ones that are in that town. There's a few hundred of them down there.
There's a town.
Yeah,
town.
I think the last time, I think it's called Dungeon Town. I know it's not very bright. I'm not really allowed down that level. There's 3 or 4 of my brothers usually in the way, and like I said, they look down on me because they say I'm the soft one, because I don't, and he gnashes his teeth in a comedic manner and says, I don't like bite people in off as they try to come through the door.
That's what it is. And Pete, you know what it is? When people act out, it's because they're inside, they're frightened.
He said the one that was running the grove, where all the caves and the trees are, that one, he's gone him, so I don't know where he's gone. But other than that, my brothers will stop me travelling about too much. And the beast, he moves the levels around, so when sometimes you grow new rooms, I mean, I might be assigned a new room up here. You could come back up and it could be a completely different layout. So, I don't know.
That's got to be very upsetting to constantly not have any sort of stability. Like, I've gone Geordie. God, I can't do accents.
Yeah. Well, I don't know what this accent is, because he's some kind of earth spirit / elemental. So somehow I've decided this is his accent. I don't know where it's bloody well come from. It's kind of a slow Yorkshireman.
If the hat fits and all that.
So he's like, yeah, if there's anything we can talk about, that would be great. Anything I can help you with, I would gladly do that.
Oh, that's very kind. Well, I was wondering then if that's since I don't want to, confuse you, I'll keep doing the whole thing where I open my mouth wide and the dog ganters about. I'm trying to make it seem second nature to him.
Yeah. So the dog you open his mouth and he opens his mouth as well. And he's shown interest. And he's like, well, it's like nobody else ever asks me of the history of the place or who's in it, or I don't get any sort of contact with the outside world. I'm not allowed it now.
Seems like there's a lot of disinterest as well. I honestly think that you have you ever thought that maybe, right, you should speak to someone about maybe organising you and all the other guardians here into some sort of group to represent yourselves against management.
Well, unfortunately, that would be the cult of the beast, and the beast. If he had his eyes, the beast wouldn't need them, and he would snuff them out of existence. But they've got some way of steering him about because he's basically running around blind at the moment. So I don't know if we could find the beast's eyes, he could get rid of the cult. He would probably just cast their souls into eternal damnation or something like that.
Aye, that sounds like a good idea. Get it? No, no.
But the beast is such a creation of chaos. He's one of the oldest beings of chaos that he should be able to sense his eyes, and because he can't, they have to be in some areas that are so horrifically chaotic that he can't sense where they are. If they were just in the middle of the street, then he'd be able to pick them up straight away. He'd drive over, get his eyes, that would be it. He would then end the world and everything would be great. Go and find his daddy Ragnar. But no, he hasn't got his eyes, so the world still hasn't ended yet.
Okay, Ragnar. Give me. Do I recognise this name at all?
Oh yeah. He says, "Oh yeah, Ragnar." He says, "Back in the day, a good while ago, you remember that the three beings got together. Together they mated and they created Whackboth the devil. Well, I don't want to be indelicate, but when the mating was complete and Ragnar pulled out and spilled his seed upon the ground, it kind of sloshed into an underground lair of sorts, and the power of the chaotic seed brought the beast to life. I mean, we scrub the floor, but sometimes even now it's a bit tacky."
That is, I agree, incredibly tacky.
Yeah. So Blondel, you've walked up to him, and you can see as he's talking, it's only about a foot wide, the wall, and what would be a doorway is sort of like behind his mouth, and his mouth's going up and down.
I'll turn around and say, "Hey, you have a try," and see if he opens his mouth wide to make the dagger do a trick.
Give us a fast talk roll. It's going to have to be a pretty good one at this stage. He says, I'd like a little dog to do tricks for us. Sorry, a dag. It'll be very, very handy. Are you using your mouth to command it? I like that, are you?
Well, you can use all sorts of things, but he's mouth focused. Should ask his girlfriend.
Again, he stops. His great stone brows come together, and he goes, "Ah. That's 2 jokes in a millennia. It's a new record."
Good. McLovin,
Aye.
you can get feckin' Dag to do tricks as well with your mouth, can't you?
Oh, yeah. Piece of wee-wee.
Show our friend, what's your name, by the way? I'll say to the door.
I'm just
Crook.
the doorkeeper. They called me the doorkeeper. My brother's got all of the cool names because we have to have names that things can understand before we destroy them utterly. It's no good.
We can give you a cool name.
Yeah, you deserve a name.
Like Stephen.
Stephen is an amazing name.
Stephen. I do like Stephen. It'd be nice to be called Stephen.
And your friends could shorten it to Steve. Oh, Steve the door. Steve the door. Steve the door. Or call you whore, but with connotations.
Steve the door. I like that. I like that very much.
What the fuck is this adventure?
I just thought I would try something different. It's different, all right.
Oh, it's great.
I think we're talking to a door.
I'm not just a door. I look after the level, and like I said, I send the cleaners round. We keep the place nice and spick and span. I need a new gargoyle as well, because apparently you killed the gargoyle. I don't mind. We can just conjure another one out of the living rock of the beast. It's Gargoyles are pretty easy to make, to be honest. Dags would be hard, very hard.
Or you kind of mack a dag. They just happen. Basically, what happens is you get a dag and another dag, and you leave them alone, and then before you know it, there's loads of dags.
Oh, okay. I think I see how that works.
You would think so, but you'd be very surprised by how intricate the situation ends up.
Right, so McLovin, Cronin was tagging you in there with your fucking 105% fast talk, whatever it is. So feck a dag, then dances around in front of him on his back legs and opens his mouth and makes little yipping noises, and you can see he's entertained. He's like, I wish I had a feckin' dag. That would be great. If I had somebody to keep me company, that would be fabulous. He's going, come on, little dog, do some tricks for me, for Stevie the door.
The internet today, I can tell you that.
He's just randomly laughing.
Not me.
You know those trolls were killed. Did they leave many shields behind?
Yeah, you took a shield last time, Dave.
You know the trolls that were just killed?
Yeah.
Why did they know the password?
Are you asking Steve Adore this?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, Fangrot, that dark troll, lives in the deep keep. He sends them up here and they fish up all the organic stuff and food and valuables and things like that. Because if it continues further down, it goes down into the gizzard, but it goes past the big stone teeth. And I'll be honest, I don't think you should go through the big stone teeth because it's not great. He crunches down mountains and buildings and castles. I mean, imagine what he do to your little legs. So basically, Fangrot sends the Trollkin parties up to fish off the bridge. They've got those long spear things, and they pull up valuables and food and things they can find. Items of mystical and magical nature, you know. New magazines, so they've got something to read, that kind of thing.
The everyday folk leave behind.
Yeah.
Will they be back soon?
I wouldn't imagine so. It'd be a few days because they spend a couple of days up here fishing, and they only came up the other day because the cleaners came round to the gargoyle room, but the door had been shut, and they banged on the door and shouted let us in, but nobody spoke dark tongue apparently. I know. Info dump.
I wonder how strong this bloody head's bite is.
I mean, it's a giant head made of stone. I imagine it's pretty strong.
So, does the beast know everything that you say and stuff like?
Only if he's listening, and his eyes shoot to the left and right. We keep a careful. Well, I keep a careful eye out for him. If he specifically listens to somewhere in the dungeon, then he can hear and see. Like I said, luckily for you, he hasn't noticed you yet. You haven't caused him much trouble. My brothers don't care because they love it. I mean, the Mad Butcher runs the gauntlet, and then underneath that you've got the Architect and then the Gravekeeper, but the Gravekeeper's really weird. I mean, with a name like the Gravekeeper, you can imagine, can't you? But the others don't bother so much. They would what we would consider insane. They're just the primal spirits that do things for the fun and the jollies. They're quite happy to indulge in the beast's fantasies and things, where I'm just a lonely spirit and I don't think I'm mad enough yet. I still miss going outside. The others, they totally love it in here. I mean, when you've got absolute power, I suppose it does. It's easy to be happy, isn't it? Go ahead.
I ask him, would he not like to get out of this dungeon?
He says, I would love to get out of the dungeon. To do that, the cult would have to be destroyed, which means we'd have to give the beast his eyes back.
I noticed. Do you know what a faux pas is?
Is it like when you take 4 shots playing golf?
A little bit, because you just did one.
Did I?
You did. You said we. You didn't say you. me, you said we. And you know what that means, don't you?
No, what does it mean?
Well, you're officially going to have to join the party. It's rules.
It sounds
Well,
like
it
a whole lot of fun. But I'm only allowed to leave my level for a short time, and I need permission from my brothers to move through their levels.
But
I would love to become an honorary member of your party.
And we are a party of the greatest heroes ever assembled. Have you not mentioned that?
we are quite heroic, it's got to be said.
I have to admit, you're the greatest heroes ever to survive to make it to this room. So that's something, anyway.
Yeah.
We'd love to have you.
So can you just can you detach from the wall? Like, how do you work? Let's say you wanted to join us and we went on merry adventures. How would you?
I'm a living embodiment of stone, so I can be any part of the walls, anything made of stone in the dungeon.
Should you know the audition?
I don't know about that. I mean, I think the fact that he stood down here for a few thousand years probably puts him. He'll pass the lack of unlikely to get bored stage quite highly.
Yeah,
He loves our jokes.
Any excuse for entertainment, I have to admit. I mean, I'm even gonna not mention the fact that you killed all of my cleaners and blew the gargoyle up. And you went in the foul ladies' room and somehow you came out. No, that's the only place that none of us on this level can go. Nobody can get in the ladies' room.
Another.
Aye, the lady. There's some powerful magic there that stops anybody getting into that room. I mean, if you could stop that, I could go in there and clean the place up because it's dusty and it hasn't been cleaned in a few hundred years. The beast can't digest that one. He swallowed it and he basically, again, it's another sign. I'm on the bottom rung, so he can't digest it. So he bungs the room up here and I have to deal with it. Give it to the doorkeeper. He's got nothing better to do.
I think it's just sad when you try like that, mate. Just sad.
Do you like songs?
I love a good song.
I shall sing him a song.
And Wilbert will dance.
Oh, look at that. What? 120%? So you sing a nice catchy song and he starts to sing along in his deep, slow, gravelly voice. So you sing it, make it nice and easy to join in. So he keeps joining in on the choruses, opening his mouth wide and singing.
I think we should gather around and do a nice chorus from. I think I've got a nice song where it's like a long vocal.
It's a good idea, that like.
So you're gathering around the head while continuing to sing, and Wilbont is successfully danced. He dances around the room, twirling and leaping.
What you should do, Bracy, is we'll sing along, and then, you know, when we're all having a laugh, just turn around and go, hey, what's the password? And see if he'll fast talk, just blurt it out. Do you know what I mean? One of those, like, oh, moments.
Give it a go.
So basically, McLovin says, so Stevedore, you said the password was brown rabbit, and he goes, no, that's a stupid password. It's rocks and sauce. Oh, bugger. I'm going to have to change the password now.
Rocks and sauce. Open the door, please.
He's like, just give me a second while I change that. And then his mouth goes, and extends into like a doorway with the teeth like at the top and the bottom. And he's going,
it's the make the new password.
And do you dive into the stairs?
No, I'll casually walk in and go, look, I'm really sorry about this, and we will let you go when we're done.
I'll walk through. It was nice to meet you, though. You're a really nice guy.
When we beat this dungeon, we will take you with us, don't worry.
I'll turn around and go, we'll be back. See what I did there, guys?
Right, so you step forward into a short corridor that leads down into the darkness and steeply into the bowels of the earth below. You are on the top of this stair leading down into the... A few seconds go past and Stevie Daw's on the other side and he's like, oh, that wasn't very nice. I have to change the password now. And then he goes, oh God, he's listening. And then the face starts to fade into the background and the wall turns back into a solid wall. And you are all on this stairway leading down.
Has he killed Steve?
Steve has just disappeared.
Kinda liked Steve.
You catch a whiff of some fetid stench from below. You see the stairs go down, and there's a corridor that intersects with it about 10 or so meters ahead.
I'll start sneaking ahead.
I'm gonna see.
Hey, listen.
I want to see what happens with him creeping ahead, and then if nothing bad happens, I'll just follow up. Maybe like on like 30 feet behind him or something. I'll just let him go ahead a bit.
Okay, you head down the stairs. There's a strange cracking sound, and then a small stone breaks off the stair behind you and sort of bounces down the stairs, and then there's an enormous crack as the stairway turns into a chute, and the debris that was the stairs starts pouring down, and you all lose your footing and begin to slide. Wilbond, would you like to make a jump roll to jump to safety on the ledge that you see as you whistle down?
I would very much.
Wilbond, you jump for the edge. Unfortunately, you miss and you just catch it and you continue on. Who's next in line?
Well, that didn't go well.
I'll run down the stairs.
The stairs have disintegrated and turned into some kind of crazy Goonie-esque style trap, and you disappear down the stairs. Do you want to follow Wilbond down the chute, or do you want to continue and try and jump off onto the ledge as you go past?
I'll try to jump off onto the ledge.
Okay, give us a jump roll.
Can I make my shield into a sledge?
I don't see why not. It sounds like a great idea.
Made it.
So Crodan manages to leap to the side. What about the rest of you? What are you doing? Wilbond's already disappeared into the
I'll
darkness.
attempt the same.
I'll try and jump as well.
Blondel succeeds, Kane succeeds, Rualan succeeds.
Damn, look at us. Succeeding on jump rolls. What is this?
Yeah.
I mean, to be fair, I need to do, how do I do Bobbin now? Goodbye, Bobbin.
And Dag.
Oh no.
Oh, a tag will be in my pocket.
Uh-huh. God. Well,
Right. Well, Bobbin.
goodbye, friend.
And Dag's in my pocket because he made his jump. So he jumps into my pocket as I jump.
So there's Bobbin and Wilbond disappearing down into the... The rest of you jump to the side. You splash waist deep into fetid, foul sewer water. A few seconds behind you, Bobbin splashes into the fetid, foul sewer water. There's a splash and all of the sewer sort of makes waves. There appears to be some sort of chute or chimney on the eastern side of this large cave that leads upwards, but it's pretty dark in here, and you feel something brush your leg.
And that chute over there is probably to feed whatever's in the water.
What about the rest of you? You've just lost two of the party, including Bobbin.
Could we lower a rope down?
That'd be great.
It looks really far down, right? If I'm looking at the map.
22 metres.
That's nothing. Yeah, throw a rope down. I've got a big old rope.
Okay. You listen. You get a special. Wilbont, you hear some slight scuffling noises coming from the chute on the other side. Right, so as the rope's lowered down, you'd felt something brush against your leg. A great serpentine head emerges from the other end of the pool. The head is about a metre across, and it sort of hisses at you with a great forked tongue. It doesn't have two fangs like a snake. It's got a mouthful of razor-sharp teeth.
Look, just like the head. Probably a really nice guy.
Good javelin at it.
Right, okay, you're going to throw a javelin at it. A rope appears down below. What's Bobbin going to do?
Oh, he is climbing up that rope. Goodbye, Wilbon. Boom, I'm gone.
Oh, Jesus, it's a special. Right, you do an impale with a javelin. It sticks into the beast's eye. It thrashes about, and It looks like you might have severely injured this giant serpentine beast. However, either side of it, 2 more of these giant serpentine things erupt from the foul filth underneath. And
GTFO.
I'm sorry to do this to you, pad, old boy. You've just impaled this Hydra through one of its heads, and the rest of them look really angry. Oh, the Hydra gets 24, but Wilbond has 25. Right, so 2 heads have emerged from the muck, but judging by the thrashing underneath the water, there are some more heads. What do you want to do?
I want to go for the rope.
You go for the rope.
Strongly advised. Really, very much advised.
Right.
I'm not having a Hydra on my own.
So you dive for the rope. You're just faster than the Hydra. You grab the rope, and can you make me a climb roll?
I'm climbing and shouting pulls.
Can we see anything down there?
No, you just hear a lot of roaring, a lot of screaming, a whole lot of splashing, and then Wilbon screaming in a high-pitched voice, "Pull the rope! Pull the rope!"
I'll begin pulling the rope.
Yeah, we all pull the rope.
You get a bonus to your climb roll because you're using a rope. You start to climb up the rope. Bobbin is halfway up. They start to pull the rope, but unfortunately, one head snakes up the tunnel, and it's got 1 chance to get a bite at you. It bites you on the right leg and hits for 8 points of damage. Wow, that could have been worse.
Retaliate.
Well, I was assuming that you're using all of your attention focused on climbing up the stairs.
Quite right.
But yeah, if you want to attack the Hydra back, that's absolutely fine. No,
I'll go for getting away from it.
Bobbin leaps out of the top of the hole, leaps over the top of you, jumps onto Kane. He's so panicked that he's chittering in beast speech rather than in trade talk and pointing down the hole. He looks terrified. His eyes are wide. You successfully pull Wilbont up to the top. He's got a large chunk of his calf missing.
Bobbin will go over and administer healing.
You heal 2 on it?
Try first aid and then heal. Failed first aid, but Bobbin will put a heal 2 into his leg.
Okay.
Hydra! Yeah! Teeth! I stab it!
I'll spend some time calming Bob down, you know. He looks terrified.
Yeah, he does. Because, I mean, it was waist deep on Wilbon. On Bobbin, however, it was like chest deep. Okay, so you spend a few minutes pulling yourselves together and fixing poor Wilbon and calming down Bobbin. There's a stone arch, and you're in what appears to be a natural set of tunnels this time, although after your discussion with Stevedore, you realise that he can swallow terrain and buildings and things and form his own internal structure. What do you do now?
That looks like a door.
Yeah.
Listen to it.
No, it's not actually a door. It's just an open doorway. Around the doorway, there are some partially broken bas-reliefs depicting dwarven miners tunneling deep underground. And as you look around the corner, you see the corridor turns around upon itself and then comes to what appears to be a vast hole in the floor. 4 columns stand either side of the hole, which heads up into the ceiling. From the ceiling is a sickly white light shining down into the tunnel. From what Wilbod can see, it would join onto that chute.
Something moved in that chute.
No shoot, Sherlock.
I'll advance.
You know the stairs that lead down to the Hydra? Are they not big enough for the Hydra to get up?
The stairs are now a chute. The stone on them collapsed and it all crashed into the pool behind Bobbin.
And so we're hoping that the Hydra can't climb almost vertical slopes.
Yeah,
So
basically. I mean, if you want to wait and hang on half an hour, I'll tell you whether it can.
Let's not. Let's focus on what's ahead and keep moving, Don't die to the Hydra.
What we need is a really big boulder.
As you step forward, you thrust your torch out into the corridor. You see these 4 columns with a very narrow ledge round the left and the right side. And it looks like if you want to go round the outskirts, you would have to go with some care.
Or we could tie a rope to to each other as we go over.
Yeah, we can do that. You know the on the map we enter under a column, like a arch-esque looking thing.
Yes.
I mean, we could just tie a rope off to that or something. That seems quite secure, no? And that means we don't have, and then when people can just go one by one and avoid potentially pulling other people down at the hole with them.
Okay, that sounds
Doesn't sound as much fun, but okay.
I'll begin tying off a rope to this arch thing.
Okay, right. Wilbond, on the sides of either side of the walls surrounding this pit, you see very narrow slits that look like they've been carved into the walls.
Point them out.
See, that's the worrying bit.
Like arrow shot.
They're about 12 inches long and they're very thin.
And how high up are they?
There's roughly one at chest height, roughly one at groin height on either side.
Great.
Is it possible to wedge something in the slit and then like a spike, for a climbing spike, and use it to stand on? So you go over the slits.
One, if you have some, yes, and two, you would make a devise roll. I know specifically Andy has some because he specifically bought a big bag of spikes and a big mallet to braid them in with. I can't remember why, but I do remember him specifically saying he wanted to buy some.
Ask if anyone's got any climbing spikes.
And I'm standing at the back, smiling, holding a spike in one hand and a mallet in the other.
I've got some grapplings and caltrops.
I throw some caltrops on the floor because it's not dangerous enough, so you just need to spice it up a bit for everybody.
The next time we fail a jump roll.
Man, that would have made that slide so much better if every so often he'd dug in some caltrops or shurikens or something just to shred people in. Maybe I'll bring that up when we go find them.
You put your feet either side and slowly lower yourself over. There's a slight give in the tunnel as a click and a razor-sharp blade shoots out of the side and it catches you.
Okay.
You take 6 points of damage. Wilbont lets out a cry and then look down and make your scan roll. You can't make out where it is, but wherever it is starting to move up towards you and you see a lot of other movement behind it.
Something's coming! I'll get out there.
So you pull him out of the pit.
Push him to the back so someone can heal him up.
Yeah, Bob and I'll rush over and...
Slowly over the lip of this pit comes a giant spider. It's the size of a man.
And there's Ryan gunning up right out.
No, I'm fine with that.
Can I get it without hitting anyone in the team?
The first thing you notice about the spider is that all of its flesh, chitin, is sort of decayed and dried out and emaciated. Its eyes are grey and unseeing, and where its joints on its legs would be, there are actually small gears. Running down the sides of its torso are large stitches. It looks like there's a groove down the front of either fang, and it drips venom from the fangs. First up is Kane. This thing crawls slowly. It looks like it's moving with some difficulty, and it doesn't make the normal clicking noise. Where the web spinneret would be on the back is actually a spool, and from where it would normally extrude web, it looks like it's extruding some kind of wire. It looks like a horrible combination of dead spider and machine as it comes stalking down the corridor towards you.
Charging at it and gonna cleave into its, presumably one of its legs, to be honest.
8 damage to the chest, right? You cut it open and
I want to see what comes out of it.
sort of fibres come out and dust. It's not ichor. It doesn't seem to be phased or flinched in pain at this. McLovin at the back there.
I will pull out my coppice and fire it up.
Ruwalin, right at the back.
I am going to attempt to fire a sling stone at it.
Kane, a sling stone bounces off the back of your head. 8 points of damage.
Sorry. Sorry.
That's firing into melee rules for you. Right.
Turn round and go, they're helping again.
Wilbond.
If I can chuck a torch over the top to get it to land on it, I'll try that. But other than that, let's just wait for a clean shot.
I die to my party right
Sorry.
now, I would be pissed.
I'll just wait for clean before I do anything.
Blondel.
There's nothing really I can do. So I think I'll back up and leave room for anybody else who's better than me.
Crawlan, you're next.
I had my spear or my bow out. I can't remember.
Whichever, I don't care.
Well, if it's me bow, I'll take a step back and take a couple of shots. I'll take a shot, step back, so someone can jump into the spot and do their thing as well. Hitting the abdomen, 6 damage.
The thorax is quite damaged, and you've stabbed it, and more of this fibres and dust has fallen out. And the wire on the spool on the back where the spinner would be is detached, but it's still going. Bobbin, is Bobbin doing anything?
Yeah, he is going to run up and cast. Actually, is there an area where I could shoot past now that Crowdance moves?
Blondel's in the way.
Okay, blinds. I'll just try and disrupt it. I'll try and disrupt it.
Okay.
See if it works. On the whatever it is.
Right, he attempts to cast it, but he's still shaking after nearly being eaten by a hydra. Right. My go. Right, Kane, you're standing there. The fangs with the venom dripping off them that run down the channels down the front of the fangs.
Doesn't want to hit us.
It misses, just missed it, but it
didn't want to hit us.
It will be in the head.
It's been really bad.
And
small wolf. Oh, I know what I've read there.
Right. From the right and left side, another 2 of these horrific things appear.
Yeah.
So one of them can move in to attack you, and this one will move in along the wall. Once again, my rolls. Right, this horrific thing bites at you and misses, Kane. Wilbond throws a javelin at the other one. It strikes true. Roll your damage, Wilbond. Yeah, so it does 7 damage. Right, this awful thing takes a serious wound, but it is still going. Right, okay. I'm going to roll, and high is Blondel, low is Crowdan, as this thing scuttles along the wall and tries to bite you with its dripping venomous fangs. So that's Crowdan.
Oh dear.
Again, it bites at your head and misses. I need to start putting bigger percentages on these monsters.
These are so scary though. If any of these had it, it's probably going to be quite nasty.
Right, so
it's dark turn.
That is the end of the turn for those wee beasties. It's Feckin' Dag. Feckin' Dag looks quite scared and it's gone.
Feckin' Dag will give it the look as if to say, if you were little, I'd eat you.
Okay, Kane, you're now being assaulted by 2 of these horrific spidery undead, whatever the hell they are.
Right, I'm gonna turn to me right a little bit and slash at the one that's diagonally behind us, because I kind of don't like them, nomming on the people behind us. Okay. And then I'll swivel back to face the 2 in front as I normally am.
You lash out with your broadsword. Go ahead. 17 damage. Right.
The abdomen.
The abdomen. Oh, nasty. Right. So you cleave this in twain. The thing falls in 2 pieces. Its legs still twitching. Inside, where the spinner is, you see some clockwork gears made of bronze, and there's a little spool of bronze wire that's coming out. But the thing, although it appears dead, is lying horribly twitching on the floor. The legs are going as if it's trying to walk forward. McLovin, you have your nice fiery sword.
Can I move anywhere to get a shot off with a corpus or not?
You could step around Wilbont and Blondel and stand next to Crowdan.
And I'll engage the one that's in front of us.
Roll your coppice skill.
Hey!
Damn it. So you chop one of the legs off it, and that is enough to kill it. It sort of catches fire and collapses onto the ground. And next up we have... Did I do you, Wallen? I didn't. Do you want to fire again with your sling?
No, I don't think so.
Would you like to move closer into melee next to these twitching spider corpses on the floor? Or you valiantly guarding the room in case the Hydra comes up the chute.
It's not like Rualen to be at the back. He's normally hacking stuff up with his
It's
flame.
not. He's normally just laying out stuff, but unfortunately, I've got a feeling this place has got him rattled. Plus McLovin's ran in the way.
And Bobbin and Doug, they look like they need a bit of moral support, like.
Yeah.
It's always the way.
I need to start putting monsters in with like 150% attack value because I never get to hit. I never get to hit you.
Yeah, well, that's just bad luck on your part.
All right. So McLovin with 46. I don't know why he keeps doing that. Right. Will Bond.
Well, I might just stand here smelling bad.
I should have played a gnome.
What? You mean an Earth Elemental?
Yeah.
Blondel, it's your turn.
I'll do a disruption on the nearest one.
Okay. Yeah, you successfully cast it. Just roll a D100. 70. Yes, that works. So that is 3 damage. There's a puff as bits of this thing explode from the outside in. You're coated in awful dust, Kane. Crodan, you're up.
Oh, Croden, I thought you said Brondon.
Yeah, that well-known player character that's been with us since the beginning, Brondon.
Hey, I'm confused. I will shoot an arrow into the closest one. Is there a chance I'm going to hit someone in the head?
Yes, shooting into melee, 50% chance of hitting your target or 50% chance of hitting the beast.
Is there a melee space I can step into?
No, McLovin and Kane are blocking the corridor. You can use your spear and swap your spear and stab between them. And I would say you'll get a -20 penalty to hit.
I can live with that. Oh, bloody bollock, I missed.
The one you've cut in half, instead of having like spider guts on the inside and venom sacs, there's actually like leather bladders attached via tubes to the 2 grooves that run down the front of the spider fangs. It's as if somebody's tried to replicate a spider but made it out of a horrible combination of machinery and flesh. Is Bob doing anything?
No, I'll move up a bit further, but other than that, no. I want to kind of save magic points on him.
Sweet, I get to go with spiders, right. Another 3 of these beasts crawl out of the pit, up the walls, along the ceiling. I'm going to start rolling some hits. Right, 1 attacks McLovin. It succeeds. It bites you in the right leg, McLovin.
Dodge.
Okay. Right, you just whip your leg out the way, the fangs dig into the stone, make a click noise, and like there's a little puddle where the 2 venom drips have hit the floor. Right, 1 bites at you, Kane. Misses. Kaises. Okay, now the ones that came out the top crawl along the ceiling and tries to drop down on Croden. This one goes along and tries to drop down on Blondel.
Can I get a shot at them while they're on the wall?
Yes.
The one nearest, I suppose.
Okay. Left front leg. You strike it through the leg, you hit it in the joint, and it snaps the joint cleanly off.
Me sling now.
You pull your sling out.
You're not going to hit the one that's near me.
Yeah.
So,
go on, make a roll. Fumble, that's what I like to say, Dave. Right, I'm just going to roll you a fumble, okay? Lose next parry. Yes. So you take a wild swing at it, but accidentally catch your sword in the edge of your shield and it pulls it out of position. So I get to bite you with no parry. Blondel bites you in the left leg.
I dodge.
Go on then. No, you fail. Right. This thing digs into your leg. You take a minor nick to the leg. However, you feel a burning sensation as the venom enters your system. Right, Croden, the one that's dropped on you. Special, that's an impale in the left leg.
I will attempt to not be there when it's... Yeah, I've only got 5 armor in the leg. Yeah, I'm going to try and dodge. Can I focus my soul on the air?
Yes, you can roll your air around. You're trying to boost your dodge. You want to be like the gust of wind that just blows itself out of the way. Oh, Earl, I'm so sorry.
I'll use my reroll. The wind, I jump one way and the wind tries to blow me another. Nope.
Oh, crap. Even with the 30% bonus, that's a miss. Earl, you've got 5 armor in the leg, including your godskin. You take a minor nick, but you do feel that the venom burning as it sinks its fangs into you. Kian, you're up.
Is the one hanging over Crodan in reach?
Yes.
I'll take a hack at that then.
15 damage. You lop the left front leg clean off. Next up, we have Rualin.
Well, I can't get in to do anything here. But
Yes, you can actually. Technically, you could move 1 square up above Blondel and attack either of those 2 in front of them.
Oh, right. Right, well, hang on. Let's just try and get the Fireblade going first. I'll get me Zippo out. That's better.
Rualin's short sword bursts into flames. You step forward, and which one do you swing at? The one at the top's jumped on Crodan and has bitten him in the leg. The one below's jumped on Blondel and bitten him in the leg.
I'll go for this top one.
It hits it on the centre leg and lops that off. Right, McLovin, it's your turn.
Right, I'll attack the one in front of us.
You swing a curved lunar scimitar at it, go on. You lop a leg off. It sizzles as it burns away, and the thing clanks to the floor. Next up, Will Bunt.
Is there a clean shot at any of them with sling?
The one on the top you can, because Rualin's very short. No offence there, Mr. Duck. And it's above Crodan.
If I shot them.
You hit it on the head. Excellent shot, sir. However, it has got some natural chitinous armour. It seems to have only done a minor dink on its head with the sling. Blondel of Svenstown.
Can I cast Blade Sharp and still attack?
You can, but you'll be casting it now, and then you'll be attacking at the end of the round.
I'll just attack.
Oh, that's a good hit. Now that's better on the abdomen. It looks extremely badly. I wouldn't say hurt. I would say damaged. Croden, you're up next.
I'm going to stab it, because if not, it's going to eat me.
Okay.
I grip my teeth against the pain and desperately try to... There you go.
Nice. Go on, son. Stab it. You impale it and you stab it straight through the abdomen and pin it to the floor. Its legs still twitch as if it's moving, but you've snapped something inside, like a cable or something, and it stopped moving. However, it is still impaled in through your leg. Huzzah! Spiders! I'm going to bite at Dave because it was already attacking Dave. It misses. I'm going to bite at Kane. Success. 8 points to the right arm.
I'm gonna attempt to block.
Yeah, turn aside the blow as the giant fangs carve 2 dripping furrows down your shield. And finally, McLovin, it bites you and fails. Kane, you're up.
Slash at the one that's slightly behind us.
Oh, nice.
3 specials in a row.
You lop its filthy head clean off and it bounces and lands in Blondell's lap. Next up, Rualin.
Well, I shall just hold my action in the hopes that some spiders come crawling my way.
McLovin on 92. You are so
He's
broken.
going faster and faster and faster.
Yeah, he's just a flurry of blows. He's just like in the Matrix now.
Oh.
Okay, that is a failure. Never mind, you tried. Will Bond.
I'll just hold fire.
Blondel.
Can I use treat poison on myself?
You can. It was close. You madly tried to squeeze the poison out of your leg and failed dismally. Kane. It bites at you again, succeeds. Bites you in the knackers. Nice.
Can I afford to let a poisonous spider bite me? He says as he looks at how much armor he's got. Can I re-roll that?
Yeah, you can use your luck. Right, when you use your luck roll, Paddy, you'll see you've got a little luck rune above your character. Drag the rune and drop it onto the table. Like, once it's on the table, I can take the card back. So, at the last minute, you just move your shield and get it in the way.
It might not be super important, but I just don't know what the poison does, so I figure, let's not find out. Let's avoid finding out what the poison
All I'm saying is I had to print out the poison rules from Runequest Glorantha, because they have changed from Runequest 2. So, you've got that to look forward to. I've got to tap McLovin yet. What am I doing?
Yeah.
Damn it.
He misses. Croden's got to pull this thing out of his leg.
do I do that?
I would say strength times 3. You'll take a D3 damage directly to your leg, success or fail. So with a great grunt and a heave, you yank this thing free. Extra 2 points of damage to the leg, tearing this thing free. And you dump its corpse on the floor next to you. End of turn. Kane, you're up first.
Yeah, gonna swipe at the one in front of us, I guess.
You need to stop lopping legs off. That's what I'm talking about. Now, you do serious damage to the head. You don't decapitate it. You split part of its head. One of its fangs hangs off to one side. It still keeps going with only one fang. Yeah, Rualin. Oh, you're stuck at the back again, aren't you?
I'm stuck at the back again. I'll just stand there. I shall use me sword to light a cigar.
Right. McLovin on 115.
The Condor theme plays.
I go bullet time.
Yeah, he goes bullet time. Ding, 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 ding. It'd be great if you... Oh, yes, he stabs it in the head. Nice one. You stab this vile beast in the head. Again, it burns off part of its face, and it burns off like 4 of its eyes. It's still standing. Will Bond, you can stab. You're at minus 20% penalty to hit, though.
We'll have a go.
You missed, unfortunately. Blondel?
Can I have another attempt to treat poison then, or what?
Yeah, sure.
I could cauterize it for you. I'm not doing no else at the minute.
Right, Blondel's desperately pouring at the wound. Next up's Croden.
I'm going to heal the living crap out of that and then treat poison.
Okay.
Heal wound, cure poison, the rune magic spell.
No.
Yeah, that's not good.
This is why I had to use my luck rune.
1 bite upon you is a miss. 1 bite upon McLovin is a miss. Right, and again, new round. These things are on their last legs. Go on, Kane, finish them off.
That doesn't kill it.
No.
That's great.
McLovin on 138. This is the most interesting bug ever. Mrs. Will Bond. You succeed and you hit it in the head and kill it.
Fabulous.
The horrible creature finally shudders and dies, leaving 1. They're not retreating, they're not making a noise. This thing is in bits. Blondel can't do anything. Are you healing or first aiding or something?
Yeah, I'll cast 1 heal on us, get that heal point back.
Okay, you cast heal, you get the hit point back. Croden.
Another heal too.
Okay, the last spider misses with its 1 remaining fang. Back to Kane, Rualin, and Matrix McLovin.
Oh,
yeah. So tired of this fight, and Kane brings the sword down, severing the remains of the head from the spider beast. Well done.
Would this line up with the chute that went down to the Hydra?
Yes.
In my mind.
Right, so you're in the corridor with a bunch of dead spiders. No more of the undead horrors appear. What do you do now?
How much copper wire is in each one of them? You said there was like a spool of copper wire.
Bronze wire.
Bronze wire.
Yeah. Spool of bronze wire, about 10 metres.
Can I get all the bronze wire?
Yeah, just chop it out. So it looks like somebody took the external corpses of spiders and attempted to make them back into working spiders using some kind of
good craftsmanship, though, right?
It is extremely good.
Because to make wire is kind of like as good as it is. Can I be careful not to interact with the poison? And also, it might be worthwhile extracting some of the poison and put in vials. I don't know if anyone really cares about that.
Well, I wanted to take the leather pouches full of venom.
Yes, okay.
Yeah, you can take the pouches full of venom, but if you make a Dex times 5 roll, if you fumble, bad things will happen to you. Right, Kane, it looks like there's some kind of fancy lettering on each one on the underside, but you can't read.
Can anyone read this? I'll point it out.
I'll have a look.
Can we get Ruella spikes and hammer them into the slits?
You can. Can you make me a device roll, please? So, McLovin, you have a look. What's your read-write skill? Because it's not great, is it?
14.
Right, you need to make a power times 5 roll, a luck roll, Will Bond.
I have visions of watching his head lop off in the background.
Right, you fail. You start to pound the spikes in, and then a blade shoots out of the wall and cuts you. It's the low one. It cuts you in the right leg. Oh, but it only just scores you. So it cuts in your armour. As we had a McLovin roll yet for your languages?
Oh, yeah.
Wow.
I think next time any of us decide to do any skill training, maybe read and write is a strong one.
A strong candidate. It's a bunch of incomprehensible characters, but you think it says get McLovin.
Can you cut how big is the area in which the writing is on?
The writing's stitched into the chitin in very fine small stitches.
Right, well, I'll cut out the little swatches bits that have it on, and then just put them in my pack.
Okay.
Take a run and jump over the pit.
Really?
When someone says that...
Tie off before he does that.
Everything I can possibly do to make it better.
Yeah, you can use another rune or a passion.
Loyalty clan, there we go.
Okay, you got 20% on your jump roll. You're doing this for the clan. You've got to get across there and tie it off so that everybody can get across safely. Go on then. Roll that jump roll at plus 20%. Oh, he succeeds. Wilbon just goes, oh, fuck this, and takes a mad running long jump. You land on the other side, just your heels just off the edge of the thing. You do that thing where you windmill your arms around for a few seconds and then step forward. Excellent. Easy as that. Well done, Wilbont. Well done. It looks like the path turns a corner and then opens into an open area. What about the rest of you? Is Wilbont just runs and jumps across this fucking 25-meter drop? What
is he untying the rope? Oh, wow.
I like that guy.
I tie it onto one of the pillars.
Okay, you tie the rope onto one of the pillars.
Well, with the rope tied off, do we get a bonus to climb to go across as opposed to jumping? Oh,
yeah.
That seems good. Well, I'll just do that.
Right, Croden crawls across to the other side. McLovin's across. Rualen runs up. Flip, 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 flip. He fails. He slips and he goes to fall in the hole. But because you got the rope tied on him, you manage to pull him over. You have this moment of falling, Andy. You disappear into the pit. You can see there's more slits in the pit. And as you're going down, it's like the tongue's licking out at you. There's just blades shooting out either side of the pit at you. And what about Blondel?
I'll do the same. I'll try and do a more successful version of what Andy did.
I may have made a little squeaky noise that sounded rather like pull.
Yeah, he's like, pull us up. And as you pull him up, he's sort of wide-eyed. Blondel... Right, well, you get across the pit. There you go. Right, so you turn around the corner and this place opens into a large circular room. There are 7 giant statues on plinths around the circumference of the room. And in the centre is a plinth. It has some runes or some writing or something on it.
Fucking plinths.
Suddenly, Earl and Shash grasp their chests.
Oh, yeah, it looks really sick. Yeah.
Each of the statues is an incredibly detailed giant statue of a Mustali. However, it looks like the faces have been cut off. And by cut off, I mean as if somebody had used a hot butter knife on butter and just sheared the face off so all of the faces were blank. Earl and Dave, what's your constitutions, please? You're both 17. So you don't take the full damage. You both take 6 hit points damage to your general hit points as you gasp and you feel your nervous system, your heart's pounding, almost bursting out of your chest.
This is the poison.
Yep.
What about using heal?
Yeah, you can use heal, Dave. You cast heal. It does nothing. It doesn't heal poison damage. You stand on the outskirts of this room. Earl and Dave collapse to the floor on their knees, gasping for breath. You revive them, give them a drink of water, and they look sickly, but you do pull them round. And that is the end of the session for tonight. As in, next session we'll deal with this room.
Which is, I'm sure, super great and not at all bad.
Not at all bad. So, how did you find that then?
Confusing, but fun.
Scary.
I got a ton of wire. I'm pretty happy. Don't know what I'm going to do with it, but I got tons of it.
Meant the telling bone.